All right, we're going to go ahead and call the workshop to order at 6:59. Public hearing, I'm sorry, it's not a workshop, public hearing. We're here to discuss Article 1. It's a draft article for recreational marijuana in town here. Pretty simple. Does everybody have a copy? If not, there's copies over here in the corner. We've decided this time just to put it out for a vote to see if the town wants us to move forward on crafting ordinances. Some of you folks might have been involved with the medical marijuana. We put the horse before the cart there, crafted ordinance first, so we're going to go the other route this time. Does anybody have any questions? It's pretty much a public hearing. We'll get a little bit of input from you guys, see if we would want to change the draft article. Otherwise, what we'll do is we'll vote on this draft article at the next meeting, which is the 18th. Any questions from anybody in the audience?
I did read through it.
Okay.
More specifically, what are we opting into?
It would be opting into allowing the retail sale of recreational marijuana. So we would have to craft ordinances for that, of course. I don't know, actually.
Cultivation facilities.
Yeah, so it'd be cultivation, retail, could be testing facilities. So anything that would be on a commercial side of the industry, if you will. That's what we're
Of the recreational side.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're either, as a town, I'm going to say, no, we don't want these here. If it's a no vote, that will not change like someone's personal usage. Someone still can grow their, I think it's 3 plants currently. They can still use it. It's just the retail, so there wouldn't be storefronts of like, so you can't sell product, you can potentially grow product, you can test product. So that's the vote of no.
Okay.
If you vote yes, then it would allow those, but it would give us time to then go ahead and craft ordinances around what as a town we would kind of think of where these things, where these would go. So, maybe cultivation is good or not here and here, not here. So that'll be kind of getting into the nitty gritty of like where things end up. Right now, this is, as we were saying, we didn't want to draft the ordinances before hearing from the town whether or not they even wanted to allow those facilities in the town or not.
Can you give an overview to everybody what the state is going to do if we don't do anything?
So if we don't do, if you mean, so we either have to opt in or out. So we have to do one of those. That's why we have this vote here.
Is that legally a mandate from the state that we have to?
It's part of the rec. We as a
It's not mandated. We could do nothing.
So if we don't do anything, then it just
by
follows state law.
No, if we do nothing by default, it's not allowed.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Right.
I apologize for that.
Yeah.
That was changed.
Okay.
Last time
Sorry.
Yeah, I think medical is the way.
Okay. So
State doesn't require a vote to opt in or opt out on recreational, but they did on medical.
They don't require that we vote, but if we don't vote, you don't.
You don't do it.
Yeah.
You don't
So
vote.
if we do vote, we get the choice of whether we do
You
or not.
will or you won't.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
These new laws wouldn't affect any of the caregiving
No.
marijuana
No.
program, because you were saying just personal, but
Recreation.
personal recreation.
Recreation. This is rec use, rec sales, basically all the same stuff. It kind of applies to medical, but just for recreational now. Medical stuff is what it is now. I mean, we did that.
still can operate though, even though this passes no.
Yes.
Yeah, this was only recreation.
And you'll still be allowed to recreationally grow your own personal too. That's not going to be affected by no vote on this either. So this is just basically when
Commercial
business
business is related to recreation.
The people growing personal could grow anywhere in town, no matter this. They're
Yes.
Personal 3, so it wouldn't affect where it's being grown, correct?
Yes, right. Now there are some other limitations. There might be problems if you're growing in village and there's smells, but that's still not affected. That would be addressed separately. So if this is a no vote, it doesn't affect your personal right to grow your own personal recreational marijuana, and it affects nothing medical.
That was my other question. Outside cultivation, what would be allowed for outside cultivation if they voted in, and how would the town address the proposals.
Are you saying for just personal use? or-
No?
For
Talking
bid-
about
for
recreation.
That's
For
what we
commercial.
Yeah, we would have to address that. If the town were to vote yes, that's when the process would start. We would have meetings, we would go through everything, you know, and we would address the ordinances, I guess, over a period of months. It would probably take several months to actually craft the
Workshops,
ordinances.
public workshops, just like we did with
Do
medical.
we
same
have
process.
things in place now on odor ordinances?
Not really, no.
Is that something the town's looking at?
I can't say we're actively looking at it. It's pretty hard to quantify too. I mean, I'd like to look at some other, you know.
There-
It's just something
There's
that they
been
might
talks
want
about,
to
like,
do
car-
with this coming along.
There's been talks
right.
about like carbon filters and other
Well, I'm talking about, this would allow outside cultivation, wouldn't it, of certain size?
of certain size. And again, like we haven't, again, we would then
Oh, that
go
would have to get
into
addressed.
and figure out where, if it's gonna be outside, where in the town would that be best suited?
Yeah.
Might not be best suited to be in the little village,
Yeah.
but you know, but inside, maybe. And if so,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
maybe there's like carbon filters or other things that can address the smell. Outside
Does
the-
smell bad when it's just growing?
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah,
I enjoy the smell.
it's-
Some folks don't.
Yeah, it's a really
Have a lot of smell to it, right?
well that's what it is. I mean it's such a personal
Subjective.
thing, you know. I mean people like who run farms don't mind smells of that, but others it could be very pungent. So.
I mean, this is pretty simple at this point. The planning board would vote for this at the next meeting. I don't think there's any objections from anybody on the board with the rough draft as is. So we're not looking to change it any. You know, I guess if there's any other input from folks here, we would consider it. But this is pretty much what we would like to push out and have the town vote on. And then again, the process will start, and it will be a several-month process after that. I don't know, Lindsay, maybe you know, if we will have this out by the primary in March. Will this actually be out then?
No, we can't do it with the primary, if that's
No.
what you're asking.
Okay, so it will be sometime after that. If we were to get this out as soon as
I would
possible.
guess, like, the soonest might be like the beginning of April, because there's some 30-day notice with absentee ballots.
Okay.
That's up to
And,
select board.
and then
Yeah.
select board's probably gonna want the town attorney to review
So
it.
you're gonna have a special vote on just this.
I think
Well,
we also have food
well, the-
sovereignty coming up,
The
so
select board will have the rules,
Will decide.
yeah, the select board will get this, then they'll make that determination. But we also have another ordinance, another warrant article coming for food sovereignty. Maybe they'll be coupled together. I'm not really sure. The select board will determine that. Tiffany.
I was just gonna say, with regard to this particular item, this would be then a special town meeting, correct? And it's just to vote on whether or not people want to allow you to go ahead and draft ordinances.
Okay, so you
If
think
the
it would be a
vote on-
town meeting? then,
Yes,
right?
so if the vote on this at town meeting would be no, then you don't.
We don't do
If the
anything.
vote on this at town meeting is yes, then you start the process.
Right.
I just wanna make sure I'm understanding.
Yes. The other, I think, one hypothetical too that you know, say the town votes in yes, so we opt in, and then we as a board come together and draft ordinances and put those ordinances in front of the town. Well, I think a hypothetical that we had was, you know, what if we say yes, opt in, but then none of those ordinances pass? So in that instance, we would default then to state regulation. So the ordinances give us, the ordinance would give us as a town an opportunity to be potentially more restrictive than the state, and that's our opportunity there if as a town we decide that. Otherwise, if we opt in and don't craft ordinances or those ordinances don't pass, then it would default to state regulation.
Will people have a say then in,
Yeah, I would say, I was gonna address that.
yeah,
And the
part of
process of,
ordinances?
if we say yes and then we go ahead and try to draft an ordinance, I would say everybody in this room that has a serious interest in being part of that drafting process, we would appreciate your input. And then we all fail together with the town with the town.
Yeah, we'll have, if they opt in, that gives us now time to draft ordinances. In that process, there are multiple public hearings or multiple workshops, so it's not just like a one and done thing.
And the moratorium is a set time, it's 180.
It's 180 days, and the select board can extend it if need be.
Once, right?
Without a town meeting.
Once, I believe. Just once without a vote, though?
Just
has-
once without a town
Or
meeting.
is it multiple times?
My understanding is multiple times, they have to have good cause, and good cause would be like,
Right.
you're not finished.
There's
drafting
nothing to
an
vote on yet, yeah, no.
My understanding was once without a town meeting, but I could be wrong.
I could be
Who
wrong
knows?
too, but
But it's gonna, you know, I think the goal would be,
I mean, if
would to get it, 180 days, get it done,
90 days, yeah.
you know,
6 months, yeah.
yeah, be done with it.
yeah, it says may extend for additional 180-day periods, as in plural.
Okay.
Multiple.
Maybe there's a town, something wise on that supersedes that.
Nope, it's just, it's up to the select board and it has to be with good cause.
All right, anything else from the audience? No, it's pretty simple. Might have been premature to have a public hearing on this, but we did want to at least put this out and get some input from you. So I imagine we'll be voting on it?
I expected this to be a little more involved, but I just wanted to hand out some information.
Sure, we'll take it, yeah.
This is just an overview of some of the options for towns drafting ordinances. I've been working with a few other towns in the state, and there's a list of the 30 towns that have adopted ordinances now, so you can look to them.
This would be very helpful.
Yeah, this would
Thank you.
definitely be helpful once we start to
You're an
craft.
attorney, are you not?
I'm not, I work with an attorney.
You work with an attorney. Paralegal or?
I have more of these if you want.
If anybody else in the group here has an interest to get a hold of this, maybe you should speak to this woman over here.
Army would like us.
Select board member.
That way, if you're coming back to the final, you know, when we start to draft it.
I've talked to a lot of people before this meeting, and around here, and they just wanna go along.
Yeah, but then there's the people who want to come here, who want to come and start a business. So we
Well,
have
I know.
So we have to make sure that we
Right.
have those things here.
Yes, I understand, but they don't really want it.
Sure, yeah, and that's,
I love that.
so then they'll come in.
Give a vote for that.
Yes.
I think we're all done for tonight, but we, yeah, go ahead.
Is the moratorium necessary?
Yeah, that's, you mean if the town votes yes, yeah, it gives us the time to craft the actual ordinances. Otherwise, anything could happen and we've got to build a consensus. I don't know if we could get the people to vote yes if there's not a moratorium while we actually build the ordinances.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this now, we'd be drafting the ordinances and then we'll just do it all at once.
We tried that last time. We drafted the ordinances first and tried to vote on that, so there wouldn't have been a moratorium. It was pretty complicated. It didn't seem to work right.
And just to jump in on that, so if we voted, yes to opt in and had no moratorium, it would straight away default to state regulation. If any other point we wanted to draft more ordinances, say for whatever reason something comes up 5 years from now and we decide as a town, maybe this should be a little bit more restrictive in this area. We can do that. However, anybody who started operation before that time, it gets grandfathered in. So we're just hoping to give ourselves that opportunity to, look at everything and have the public's input and, craft ordinances based on that. I mean, I think that if it comes back though and nothing seems to, deflect, I guess, much from the state
I think you tried to get a
regulations.
moratorium on medical, but it got voted down. Right?
Yes, that did happen.
That was a
Yeah,
little,
there
little
was-
bit of a different
So you had to-
situation.
Had to go the route you went.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, there was a little bit of chaos there.
Yeah.
So, we're just trying to be a little bit more proactive on this instead of reactive
I think it's
give the vote be? That we don't know. Next meeting.
We're looking at maybe April. I mean, we're trying to get it as soon as possible.
We'll vote on the draft.
Yeah,
But after that, it goes to the select board and they're gonna decide.
and then they'll determine when it gets put out to the town to vote. So we're looking at maybe April. It's a guess.
And
Yes.
a special town meeting would be called.
I also would encourage people to come on the 18th. That's our standard meeting, but we're going to be talking about food sovereignty, and these are critical issues, the same as marijuana, and we can give you any updates on what's happening with the select board or anything around marijuana as well. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I would actually agree. We have a standard meeting, but we're addressing food sovereignty too.
Yeah, what time?
6:30 is the public hearing for food sovereignty. we'll be voting on probably this and that too. And I would encourage anybody, if you're into freedom, food sovereignty is a big deal. You know, I know most marijuana people are into freedom, so you know, food sovereignty, we'd love to have you involved in that too.
I also have some copies. It's most of the ordinance for food sovereignty, if anybody's interested. I'll leave them here, and you can start to look at what we're basically talk about.
Anything else from the board? No? No? Anything else from anybody? Any questions, concerns, comments? Yeah, that was a quick one. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll call the public hearing at 7:15. Thanks everybody for showing up.
Thank you.